All right, let's get into it, Rob. The LA Times came out I think it was over the weekend, and they announced, Rob, the 75 greatest Lakers of all time. And Rob, it's not even close. Like, it's not even a debate. What NBA franchise has had the greatest individual players? Would you agree with that? Like, you got half, if not more, of the 10 greatest players ever play for the Lakers.
Right.
So it's like, it's unbelievable, the great individual players that have gone through there.
I think it's a ridiculous list, 75.
Really?
Players. Yeah.
Well, 75 is a lot. Most franchises could not do that.
No,
I agree.
75 is a lot.
I stopped looking at about 20.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I mean, you're right. It gets kind of crazy after that. That's true. But let's go through the top 10.
Where's Nick Van Exel on the list?
He might be on there when you go 75 deep. I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
All right, so here we go. Top 10, and then I want to get your thoughts. Magic Johnson, number 1. Kobe Bryant, 2. And that's the debate. So, we'll get your thoughts and my thoughts on that. Kareem, number 3. Jerry West, 4. Elgin Baylor, 5. Shaq, 6. George, a tie for 7, actually. George Mikan and LeBron. And so 9, no 8, because it was a tie for 7. 9 was James Worthy, and 10 was Wilt Chamberlain. There's a lot to comment on there. If you want to start, let's start with Magic and Kobe, or even if you think Kareem should have been number 1. Who do you think should have been named the greatest Laker ever? You want me to give you mine?
I would say, I'm going to say Magic, only from the standpoint that Magic was their original player from day one. Whereas Kareem,
so was Kobe. Okay,
but Kareem,
so it's not even Kobe's not in there.
No.
It's okay. That's interesting.
So to me, it would be Magic or Kareem, Chris. Those are the two. Okay. Magic or Kareem would be one or two that I would debate, and I would take Magic only because he was there, their player, where Kareem came from somewhere else. Not that there's anything wrong with
Milwaukee.
That.
Right.
But and he won in Milwaukee, right?
I get it.
Yeah. So it wasn't like he wasn't anything and came to the Lakers and turned into something. He was already a star player.
Right.
I think Shaq should be ahead of Kobe. I do believe that. Wow. Even though Kobe won more championships, I think Shaq was the more dominant player when they had that incredible run. And they won the 3 championships in a row.
Well, he was clearly the best
player.
It was close, but yeah.
Right,
Shaq
but he was better.
The best player.
So I would do that.
Well, let me ask you this. Are you looking at it as just the best players to play for the Lakers or the best Lakers? You don't understand what I'm saying? Yeah, okay.
The one surprise or shocker, I don't think LeBron belongs on that list. Like,
he don't belong in the top 10?
I don't. I don't think he's I don't think he's a top 10. And let me say this. I don't believe LeBron's a top 10 Laker. Chris, they did win a championship, but he's also not made the playoffs 3 of the 4 years that he's been here in Los Angeles. I just can't. And it was a shortened, and I'm not trying to take the championship away. But if you're a Laker fan out there, nobody thinks that was some special championship. If you tell me that you thought that was special, and
it was a championship.
No, I'm not.
When you say special,
I'm just saying,
I wouldn't put it above any other ones, but it's a championship.
No, I'm not. It's like I'm not counting it. But I'm saying, Chris, they missed the playoffs 3 out of 4 years with LeBron. Shocking. LeBron has had more bad than good as a Laker. It's been more turmoil and more losing.
Doesn't override.
No.
And a lot of those missing the playoffs because of injuries.
He also, there was playoff mode activated.
That was the first year.
Right? That was a dud. Last year, they got into the play-in. Or, no, what was the year when they got to the play-in and lost?
2 years ago.
And that 2 years ago. And then last year, Chris, just a total, I get it. AD was hurt, but he still had Westbrook. They still did. When he scored 30 points a game, averaged 30 points, and they still couldn't make the playoffs. I think LeBron's had more bad than good, and this place more so than his other two stops. I can sing his praises in the other two, and I don't think he's a top 10 Laker of all time. Not one iota.
All right, so my issue with the list, I definitely agree that Magic is number one. I would have Kobe number two. Now, let me deal with Kareem. I do think Kareem is the best, I think LeBron's actually the best player to ever put on the Lakers uniform. Kareem second, then Magic third. But as far as a Laker, I agree Magic is the greatest Laker. He's Mr. Laker. Rob, what has he played? 12 years, his first stint, he came back a couple times at the end or once. But 12 years, 9 times in the finals, won 5 rings, rejuvenated the franchise. They had Kareem. Kareem won the MVP. I think they didn't even make the playoffs one year he won MVP, if I'm not mistaken.
It's hard to imagine that Magic's not number one.
No, he changed everything. He started Showtime. It wouldn't have. Lakers, Rob, there's who knows what they would be if Magic hadn't come here. I put Kobe ahead of Kareem because most of Kareem's time here, he was not, or when he was winning in the 80s, was not his prime. His prime was in Milwaukee, led them to a championship with the Big O, and then forced the trade to the Lakers and was great in his prime, winning MVPs, but the team wasn't really winning big. They make the playoffs most of the years. And then he was the MVP Magic's first year, Magic rookie year. Kareem led him to that championship, even though Magic won the finals MVP because of his Game 6 performance when Kareem was hurt.
Right.
And then Kareem still was great, was still giving you 23 points, 24 points a night. But, Rob, you look at it like toward the end, Kareem was not in his prime for their last 2 championships in Showtime, and maybe 3. But he still was effective, don't get me wrong, but he'd give you 20 points and 6 rebounds or something like that, 7 rebounds. So that's why. So Kobe, just the longevity, 20 years with the Lakers. As you mentioned with Magic, he was Mr. He started with the Lakers, finished with the Lakers, got him 5 rings. Now, obviously, Shaq was the main guy on the first 3, but Kobe was the main guy on the last 2, and obviously was hugely impactful and important in those first 3 as well. So I got Kobe number 2, Kareem 3, Jerry West 4. I would put Shaq at 5. Shaq was you can argue. Maybe you put Shaq at 4.
Jerry West lost too much.
The 3. Right, you could put Shaq at 4. Jerry West a lot of that might be, general manager, coach. But he was a phenomenal player. Got to the finals 9 times, but only won 1.
Yeah.
And
he was the Atlanta Braves back then.
Right. And that was a credit to him to get there. Because, Rob, that was an era when you didn't get there without a big. Bill Russell dominated. Wilt won when Russell didn't win. Willis Reed, right, with the Knicks. And so Jerry West was getting them to the finals consistently without a big. Obviously, Wilt came there later, and they did win a championship. I'm fine putting Shaq, because Shaq, it's not like he just had a cup of coffee. He was with the Lakers more than 8 years. Check that out. I'll look it up. But he was there a long time. And he won the 3 rings, and he was the main guy. Jerry West, and then I'm fine Elgin at 6. And then I would go, Mike.
People forget how great Elgin Baylor was.
And he didn't win a ring, and that's why people are going to. But he was there with Jerry West getting to the finals every year. It was those 2. And he was phenomenal. Mikan, Mikan was obviously way before everybody's time. Let's just keep it real. But if you're going to honor the history,
Then he has to count.
Win, 4 championships or whatever it was, 4 or 5, way back in the day. After that, I got LeBron. Like, he led them to a championship. He has been injured. I get it. They haven't made the playoffs for a few years, but a lot of that was due to his injuries. But I think I don't say it's been more bad than good, because I think the one championship outweighs years, a few years when you miss the playoffs. I mean, that's how valuable a championship is. It lasts you for 4, 5, 6 years. You know what I mean? So I would definitely have LeBron in the top 10. I think Wilt's a little. I would put Wilt. I know Big Game James. He was phenomenal, but Wilt. Wilt was Wilt, and I know he was toward the end, but he still was effective in those finals, and he won the championship with them. George Mikan won 5 titles in his 7-year career. Shaq played 8 years with the Lakers. Those were some questions we threw out there. So,
yeah, and George Mikan, how many drains did he unplug, Chris, during that time as well?
Yeah, in the off seasons, that's right. What he was doing. All right, 877-99 on Fox. Your turn to weigh in. Is Magic the greatest Laker of all time? Or is it Kobe? Is it Kareem? Is it Shaq in your view? And is LeBron a top 10 Laker of all time? Those are the questions we have for you.
All right, Sean in Sacramento, our guy. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Sean?
Yo, my uncle's from another mother, my brother's behind the board. And Rob, I know you love your little LA radio show family, but before you start disrespecting Alex for not making it to your shows, just remember who remixed the first couple radio edits for you, man. He's been on board since day one.
Remixed them.
Thank you.
No
doubt.
Saved them.
I mean, I don't want to say. I don't want to say the last was simulated, but let's just say they were made out of silicone and Botox.
Wow.
John, you should be on tour with Rob Parker.
Right.
I know, right?
I'm trying to put my video, man. Let me get 5 minutes on stage, Rob. Let me get 5 minutes. Open the act.
Not only have I heard fake laughs in my life, I've heard fake moans too, but that's another story.
All right, Rob, calm down.
All right, Sean, what you got?
I was going to say, speaking of that, man, between Tire Rack and Gillette, they owe y'all a couple of raises, man, because those cuts every single day have me in stitches, and when Alex drops the GOAT cut at the end of you, my man Chris, it's amazing. But my take real quick, man, is I got to agree with my man Rob, man. LeBron does not deserve to be on the top 10 list, and here's why. When you hear those one names, Magic, Kobe, Big Game James, the logo, these are guys that help bring about even bigger than the LA Lakers brand.
Of course. But we said top 10, not top 5. You just named, 3, 4 guys. Nobody's putting him ahead of those guys. Top 10?
Look, man, Derek Fisher I'll put ahead of guys like LeBron, man. These are guys that help win multiple championships and not in some corny little bubble where it had 3 months off between the playoffs.
That corny little bubble, everybody played by the same rules. The Lakers had no advantage that nobody else had. And Derek Fisher, God bless him, who did he lead to the championship? LeBron had to lead a team to the championship.
Derek Fisher hit a miraculous shot. He had moments.
They didn't even win it that year. They didn't win it that year. They got embarrassed by the weak Detroit Pistons.
What? That was an unbelievable. Unbelievable. All right, Sean. Thank you, buddy. We appreciate you.
Hating.
What about Mike in Fresno? You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio. What up, Mike?
Hey, how you doing, boys?
Doing
What's
great,
up, man.
Hey, listen, I think you're missing the boat. I don't know. I've been commuting for a while in this treacherous traffic, and I haven't heard one thing about James Worthy, who was one of the great.
Well, he's ninth. He's in the top 10. He's ninth
in the top 10, so he is on that list, Mike.
Okay, then I must have missed it because you haven't said a thing about him.
Where are you on number 1, and where does LeBron belong? I'd like to hear that from you.
Number 1, I would have to say Kareem.
Okay.
All right. Look, it's an argument.
And LeBron in your top 10 Lakers?
No.
Okay, so you're with me on that one. Okay.
No,
thanks, Mike.
He just hasn't done enough.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. But hey, Chris, let's go to Trucker Don in Boston. Listening
We're not
in here on the
asking the
Odd Couple.
top 10 Celtics.
I
Don.
know this is a shocker. What's up, Don?
Hey guys, what's going on? Sorry, no horn tonight. I'm already parked.
You're parked. Where are you? What part of the Massachusetts are you? Are you somewhere else?
Oh no, I'm in Kansas, heading down to Texas right now.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
You always sound good and refreshed, Don. Drink some coffee, get some rest.
Maybe I've had too much today.
All right. What you got?
Chris, is Rob sitting down?
Uh-oh.
You gotta make sure Rob is sitting down.
Wow.
Because I'm going to agree with Rob.
What? What? now that might be a first. Alex, mark this tape right here.
I think that's a first. I think so. No, the whole LeBron top 10 player in the NBA of all time, top 3, we can go that way, fine, but not as a Laker. As a Laker, James Worthy has done more for the Lakers than LeBron has ever done. You've got a whole list of players. Derek Fisher has done more for the Lakers. LeBron has done, great things for the league, and I put Shaq way above LeBron on that list. So
Right.
Good call on Shaq, absolutely. But LeBron just hasn't done it for Excuse me, I call him LeBrain because he's smarter than the rest of us. But anyway, thanks for taking my call.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you,
and
Trucker
Rob,
Don.
what's happening? Which I get, but people are saying yes, James Worthy, a lifetime Laker.
Yeah.
When you think of Worthy, Fisher, Byron, Scott,
Those are all Lakers,
at
right?
that point you're putting Michael Cooper and these guys ahead of LeBron. Powell Gasol, even Powell wasn't a lifetime Laker, but obviously he, did his greatest things here as a Laker. I get it. I'm just saying though, none of those guys led a team to the championship. So it's just a different emphasis. They're
Right.
putting it on, longevity, and I'm putting it on. He did lead them to a ring.
Chris, let's do some overtime on calls. We got a few more, okay? Let's do Frank
Well, we got
in Brooklyn, right?
One call, 'cause we got
Well, no.
Gentlemen.
Read your text.
Yeah.
We don't. They want to go to the break at 35. That's what at 35. Look at your text.
I'll keep it short.
Go ahead,
brothers.
Frank. Go ahead. How you doing,
Hey,
buddy?
man. Hey, good evening. By the way, he shouldn't even be on, LeBron shouldn't be on this list because everybody else on this list were lifetime Lakers. And to set the record straight, I'm a Knicks fan, but I've always loved the classics. And the Knicks were always, they were always second city to the Lakers, as were the Celtics. But here's
No
my
doubt.
point. Here's the bottom line. LeBron can't be on this list because there's too many guys that came before him that were so much better. And again, everybody's talking
better
James
in
Worthy,
terms
whatever.
of what?
Lakers. They're it's about playing with the Lakers. It's not about LeBron is the second best player ever, Chris. But that doesn't mean as a Laker.
No, I get it, but
Right.
who did Derek Fisher lead them to a championship? Did James Worthy lead them to a championship? I know he was a Finals MVP one year.
Right.
They were part of it, though.
Yeah, but he led. That's different.
Yeah, AD
It's
had a
different.
big part.
AD was great.
AD
but
was
LeBron
great
was
in the
clearly
finals.
the leader and the best player on that championship team.
Yeah, but the other 3 years is what bothers me is that
It's
they
fine,
didn't make
but
the
you got
playoffs.
the
That's what I'm
ring.
saying.
You
All
got
right,
the ring.
go. Let's go to Steve in San Jose. If you want to jump in, we got a couple more minutes. Steve, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
Hey, what's up, guys?
How are you?
What's up, man?
So, yeah, definitely all on Magic. When I think the Lakers, it's Magic. So he's
Right.
got to be number one. Kobe's got to be number two. There's no question there. But
Yeah, I'm with you there.
Where do you have Kareem, though? Is he 3 or no?
Not my 3. Jerry West, I would say, is 3, but that's kind of the influence of, my dad in the previous
Okay.
generation.
Yeah, I was gonna
Never
say-
saw him, but
Yeah,
he's got that legend sort of reputation.
He just didn't win enough for
So
me.
what about
He lost
LeBron?
8 championships. Yeah, where does LeBron
But
fit
to
in?
me, LeBron is a Cavalier in a Lakers jersey. He can't be on the list.
Wow. We got some haters up in here.
What, Chris? Because they don't agree with you?
My
They're
goodness.
haters?
Yes, absolutely.
Hey, Steve, I love it, Steve. He's a Cavalier wearing
That's
a Lakers
absolutely
uniform.
right.
Love
Some might say he's a heat.
A heedle. A heedle. Is that what it is?
A heedle. No, a heat. A hot. Whatever. All right, it's the Odd Couple. We got Randy Mueller coming up in a moment. First, Ilo with the update. Ilo.
All of you forgot one person. All of you forgot one person.
Who's that?
Francis Dale Chick Hearn.
Well, we already know he's legendary. Let me tell you something. As big as Chick Hearn was, nobody was bigger than Vince Scully. And you know this, Ilo, from the standpoint that when they put out the Mount Rushmore, Chris, of the Dodgers, the Mount Rushmore of the Dodgers, Vince Scully got one spot. He never even played for the Dodgers. Can you believe that? You remember that, Ilo, right?
That's right. Well,
Vince Scully, an announcer, was listed as, it was Jackie Robinson, Vince Scully, and I can't remember the other two.
Neither can anybody else.
No, Sandy Koufax.
Right.
Koufax,
and one other. I can't remember.